And now, the Big D and Bubba Weekly Podcast.
Big D and Bubba, they have a show 5 days a week, but they don't get to say everything that's on their mind, so they have an extra one. That's how we get the podcast, the podcast, the podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast, the podcast, the podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me.
Yeah.
I can do it up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
Yeah!
Oh, the best gold ever.
We'll
for
come back
today.
and talk about that in a moment. I just want to get the sponsor out once again. Thank you to Pickle Jar for sponsoring the podcast today. It's a great app. Look, if you love music, get the Pickle Jar app because, one, it's free, and two, it's a great way. You know, if you I don't want to slam anybody else, but there's another app that you can share money with and tip with and all that, and it starts with a V. But they actually take money away from the person that you're giving it to.
And you're like, no, they don't. I do it with my friends because you're friends. But if you give money to people you don't know and they find out they're getting a lot of money for people they don't know and they start charging them money.
So
That's weird.
if you want to show some gratitude to people like bands maybe that are playing on stage, if you're in a band or anything where you might take
you need
tips
Pickle Jar.
or anything like that, you got to get Pickle Jar. It's pretty great. Plus, you can use it for fundraisers. They will take care of figuring out all the money and where it goes and all that kind of stuff. It's great for causes all around town. So
Can I just help my people out, my friends,
Yeah.
over Pickle Jar and just say that also it's cool. Like, even if you don't do any of that stuff and you like music, they've got all kinds of videos, stuff. You follow the artist on there. They're doing prizes and trips and all kind of cool. Like, just go download it, and it's free.
Yeah, it's free. Apple or for Droid. So get it. Picklejar.com if you want to learn more. And now, once again, the gold.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
Yeah!
Carson, how are you doing in the brackets? I haven't followed you.
Oh, I'm ranked 18th, but
Are you
Wow.
18?
What? She's
No.
beating all of us.
Are you
no, but the ranking says 18, but there's like a million people that are ranked 18.
But it doesn't matter.
You're
They're
tied for 18th.
68th, and I'm
Oh.
189th.
Yeah, okay.
And Garrett is 275th.
Okay, there's got to be something wrong then. Like, because I can't be that good.
No, it's just, I mean,
Or your
You're
picks
not.
were just
how
you're
many did you
not.
get right? You got
How do
sounds
you
like
know
you got
she's
13
not?
picks right.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds right.
I said it earlier. So Kara, y'all remember Kara? We met Kara at the game night.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband was in the military, and he
Bloomington.
had Bloomington. He
Yes.
had all of the pictures of him wearing 17 gear
Yeah.
in like
Helicopter.
Afghanistan or something. Yeah. So she's in first place.
Yep, sure
right
is.
now.
Yeah.
The problem is she had Arizona picked to win the whole thing.
She had them
So
going
she
all
got-
the way.
She got 14 out of 16 guesses right yesterday, but the one that she missed was Arizona. So if Arizona doesn't choke, she has 15 out of 16, which is crazy. Also, she cannot possibly win because her champion is already out. And but hey, I said I think she should take a screenshot.
Yeah.
I was in first place after day one.
Good for her.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Kara, then followed by Chase Keene, Michelle, Rosalind, Chuck, Brandon. You know what? I don't see any of our names anywhere here.
Yeah, do a search or Control F for my name just to make sure I'm right.
Yeah,
And you're in.
she says she's
yeah.
tied for 18.
18th?
Yeah, there you are.
Really?
Look
Okay.
at you.
Yes.
I know. We're all shocked.
The brackets.
Not really,
We
because
always
that's how it goes.
we always say to get in on the brackets every year. It's so much fun because again, you get to prove that you're way better than we are at this. And wow, Carson, you're gonna take this.
I don't know about that, but
You're gonna be the best one of the show on there. Is there a chance for Big D or I to come back at all, Patrick? Or
Of course.
Or is Carson
It's
going
day
to?
one, and you get more points
Well, it's
for
now
each
day two.
round. So, well, that's right. But, I mean, you get more points for each round. So,
Yeah.
by Monday, this whole thing, I could be in first place
Right,
out of
right.
the four of us. It
Even
it's
though
all-
you're the worst one right
doesn't
now?
matter. It's all, that's the thing is, I have 10 points. You have 12 points or 11 points.
yeah.
So, it's like the difference is like 1 point different. So, after today, we could easily be tied.
Kara is the only one with 14 points
14
at all.
out of
Killing it.
16.
A lot of people
Killing
tied
it.
for 2 with
Crazy, man.
13, right? But
I wish I could see her bracket and see what she must have had some of those upsets.
She must have.
Like,
I'm looking.
I want to know. I almost picked Princeton, not on the bracket, but on my app yesterday. So I had a free bet where you have to pick something with long odds to make it pay off, and then I actually clicked Princeton and was going to check out, and then at the last second I went, "What am I doing? It's like 8-1 odds. Princeton's not going to beat Arizona." And then I went back and I bet on Oral Roberts to beat Duke instead. And I'm like, that was so stupid.
I'm looking at her bracket. Kara, you're an awesome person, a wonderful friend. You are going down, though.
Well, I told you, she can't win because Arizona's out.
Now, she does have Gonzaga in the championship game, which is they're still alive. So that doesn't mean you can keep going?
I mean, everyone else would have to completely catch on fire for her to win. I mean, it's impossible.
Like burn up.
Like if Kansas loses in the second round and Alabama loses in the second round, then maybe she has a shot, but otherwise, no, not at all. But did she have Princeton? Or is that the other one she missed? So she only missed 2. One of them was Arizona. Oh, no, that's right. She didn't have Princeton.
She had Princeton.
No, because Arizona.
No,
I mean, she had Arizona over Princeton.
And then who's the other one she missed?
I don't know.
Because she got them all.
Yeah.
Man, I do this every year. I'm like, why?
After the first day, they said 0.011% of brackets were
less
still
than
perfect.
0.1% perfect bracket.
0.01. It was what it was. It was
what
like,
I said.
Yeah, but I mean that's way less than 0.1.
Well, they said too it's less than 800 perfect brackets.
She picked Virginia, which was upset by Furman.
Ah, okay.
So that was
she
her.
missed the 2 big upsets, but she got all the other upsets, all the other craziness.
That's crazy.
Like,
I mean, she's just going, that's good. That one's fine. Okay.
I've heard of this one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard of this one. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, that has 2 syllables.
So all the guys right now.
Perhaps she is a rabid basketball fan
Or
and did
perhaps.
all of her research.
Yeah, that's great.
But then
That's
why would you
possible,
take
but
Arizona
it's
out
not.
immediately?
Exactly. Thank you.
She didn't. She picked Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, Carson, you're talking and
You're making
just
way
so,
too much sense.
I mean,
see, this is why she's going to beat all of us.
I
She
know.
actually knows what's going on.
Yeah, I don't.
as much. But it's so great. This is one of my favorite. This is right up there with college football for me. I don't care anything about it during the regular season until now.
See,
I kind of get into SEC or all the conference championships, last week.
That's when it gets good. Yeah, conference championship week is great. What, Patrick?
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. ESPN has something called the Perfect Bracket. The Perfect Bracket. What is it called?
Is it the one where they tried?
So here's how it goes. When number 9 West Virginia lost, that was the first one. Right then, 10 million brackets were out. They started with 20 million brackets just on ESPN. So more people play on CBS, I think, because CBS has the tournament. But obviously, a lot of people play on ESPN. 20 million brackets, half of them lost with the first game. And then 8 million more had Virginia beating Furman. And then where is the number 2 Arizona actually only took out 400,000 people, but that's how few people were left by the time they got to it. So right now there are 658 brackets remaining on ESPN out of 20 million.
I still have my 2 for the championship game still in it.
Yeah.
I've got Marquette and Indiana still in it, and again I have Marquette.
I mean,
picked
did
as
they even play yet?
Do you think the perfect
They haven't
bracket
even played
people
yet.
are all Princeton alumni? Because who else picked them?
Who else picked
else?
Princeton?
Yeah,
They
that's
wouldn't
your
pick
mama.
Princeton.
That's your mama picking
Even
you.
if they go.
I love Bubba just now. Marquette and Indiana still in it. Yeah, neither one of those teams have even played yet.
See what
He's
I
like,
mean?
but my champions are both
There
they're
you
both
go.
alive.
They do.
I'm fine.
Is that who you have in your final? Is that who you have,
Marquette and
Bubba?
Indiana.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Who do you have your final?
Marquette and Indiana.
Okay. Who's yours, Carson? What's your final? Do you even know?
Oh, I don't know. I just know that UConn wins. That's who I put. I put my
Okay.
Huskies for.
And
one.
Patrick, who do you have?
In the final, I have Kansas, and I don't remember who I had in the final with Kansas.
I've got
Probably
Kansas.
Alabama.
That's who I have.
Yeah,
I have Kansas winning.
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be good. And then you got
my
listen,
gosh.
Texas is good. Texas won.
I think
Big
Houston.
12.
I think Houston
Yeah.
beats Texas.
You think so?
Yep, I do. Houston's gonna. Don't sleep on them, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, and here's the problem: to have a perfect bracket right now, you had to pick both Furman and Princeton. So you're one of those people like Bubba who picks crazy things.
Which, by the way, thank you. I had a good parlay win with those two.
Yeah,
Did
92
you cash out? Mm-hmm. You just smart.
92 of those people have Vermont beating Marquette. 200 plus of them have number 11 Pittsburgh winning. 127 of the brackets that are left have Iona beating UConn. So it's not looking good. 25 of the brackets left have Purdue losing. 25 people who have a perfect bracket right now have Purdue losing to Fairleigh Dixon in the first round. So by the end of the day today, there's going to be five or six perfect brackets. It's going to be nuts.
That's crazy, man.
Out of how many million?
Out of 20 million.
It's like lottery odds.
It really is. So there was one of the betting services, I think it's BetMGM, had, if you get a perfect bracket, you get $10 million.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how impossible it is to get a perfect bracket. Think about it, all the way through.
Wasn't it Warren Buffett who did that years ago? He offered up a bunch of money if you got a perfect
yeah.
bracket. And of course, people were already out, like
Yeah.
three
My
rounds.
thing is this. There are 20 million brackets. I don't think there's going to be 10 left at the end of the day today, and there's still 5 rounds left. Like you could be perfect at the end of this and still lose the whole thing because none of this matters. It's all who wins the whole thing.
My two teams are still alive. That's all that matters to me.
It's all matters to
That's
you,
all that
man.
matters.
Yeah, bring it on.
Well, let's revisit this afternoon and see how Bubba's doing.
Yeah, please do.
I love. We're
Please
all
do.
in. And it's funny.
And I will give you my my betting updates as well.
Yeah, Bubba said the thing last night. He's like, "Okay, hey, let's go," and it was all his
How
parlays.
many-
So
okay, do you cash that parlay out, the crazy one?
Yeah, I got like $23 on it.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
It was like a 50-cent bet.
how far
Well,
did you
you
get
had
into it?
Princeton, though, right?
Well, yeah, but I didn't want to. Yeah, I had some late games. Let me go.
Oh,
see.
you would have lost because you also had like Houston
Yeah,
losing and
I
other
don't
crazy
remember.
stuff.
Those that
Yeah.
don't know, a parlay is when you pick
Crazy
more
teams.
than one. Well, not necessarily. It's just more than one game, and all of them have to win for you to win. But halfway or so, I don't know how many games into it, they'll go, "Hey, do you still want to do this, or you want to cash out?"
Mm-hmm.
And if you cash out, if you're winning, it's good because you can double your money sometimes and all that. It was a 50-cent bet, and I ended up. It had like a potential cash payout of like $1,300 or something
Wow.
crazy on 50 cents.
50 cents.
So I cashed out at like
I'm
20-something
looking at it.
bucks.
I mean, that's a huge win, $23.
That's massive.
Yeah.
$10,500 if all 10 of these teams
Oh,
win.
$10,000.
Yeah, but he needed Oral Roberts lost. I mean, a lot of these teams lost. So College of Charleston, but you got lucky because you got Maryland, Furman, Missouri, Princeton. The early game they won, and then they were like, "Just in case, dude, you want $20? I give you $20. You guys that right now." Just because they're like, "I don't want to end up paying this crazy dude $10,000."
Well, there's a guy that posted on Twitter during college football, and he was like, "All right, I got this parlay going. I need one more." It was Tennessee versus Georgia football. And he's like, "All right, I've won all my games in my parlay, and this one's next. And if I win, it was like $100,000." And he goes, or I can cash out at like $1,000.
No,
something.
it was 10. They were offering him $10,000 to
cash
buy him
out?
out of a $100,000 bet. It was 5 NFL games, I think.
No, it was
or
college
football.
Yeah. It came down to Georgia, Tennessee at this final game.
Yeah, and
And he didn't cash out?
no. It was
No.
Vanderbilt beating Tennessee, I think.
Oh, maybe
If
you're
Vanderbilt
right.
beat Tennessee that night, so you had 4 huge underdogs.
Yeah, they all won.
And they all won. So they were like, "Hey, dude, we'll give you $10,000 right now
If you stop.
If you just take it and walk away, or
you can go on.
risk it all for $100,000." And he took the 10,000.
10,000.
And
Smart.
Tennessee beat Vandy by 49 points.
Yeah, because he
So-
would have lost all that.
Wow.
Yeah, and everyone was like, of course, I would comment. I get so excited whenever someone else's money's at stake. And I was like, dude, you've come this far. Let's do it. I was the only one. Everyone
the
else
only
was
one.
like, cash out, bro.
Dude, get out now.
What are you even? Why are you even on Twitter? You should have just gone and cashed out. Oh, it's so
crazy.
great. I know. It's so fun. It's so fun.
It is fun. I do love it.
Do you get excited about anything like this, Carson?
I get excited about many things, yes.
Antique Roadshow, Wheel.
Wheel, 100%.
You
sure.
guys get so excited about Wheel of Fortune. It's so weird watching you guys talk. I put it on the other day.
Yeah.
I did. And I watched, it was like the last 5 minutes of the show. I didn't know what was going on because it doesn't look like the old school Wheel of Fortune. Like there was some kind of weird thing. And then they went and did like clips from Wheel of Fortune around the world.
Yep.
And they were
That was last
playing
week.
like somebody from Greece.
Yeah.
And
They'll
there
kind of
was-
show you what it's like in their country. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was bizarre. I'm like, what am I even watching? I didn't get it. Maybe I didn't catch it. I need to start from the beginning.
No, you probably just caught it in a weird spot. But
Yeah, it was like, it made no sense to me what was going on.
I like it for it's predictable, but it's not because everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
But Vanna she's going to do the same thing. She's going to walk back across at the very beginning and look at the camera weird. Doesn't she? She does. It's awkward, like a robot. It's awkward. And at the very end, for the final puzzle, Pat will say, "Okay, come on over here," and you just stand right there on this mark. He says the same thing
Yeah,
every
on the
time.
mark.
Yeah,
Yep.
stand right there on the mark, or you can stand because there is a mark on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So they stand there. And, all right, we good. Oh, it's the best. I just like it's just I don't know, comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we interviewed Pat. It was more than 10 years ago, and they were talking about there had been a recent story at the time about how much money he made, and he said, "Look, at this point, they're not paying us because we're breaking new ground or we're brilliant at this. They're paying us a lot of money so that episode 20 looks like episode 10."
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I mean, or season 20 looks like
I
season
get you.
10. But yeah, that's what it is it's comfortable and familiar. And that's why you have to keep him and Vanna. And this is the thing. It's always, they can't change it too much because people want it to be like it is. It's comfortable. People like it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something to be said for that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be
He's also
changing
the
stuff.
best at just small talk.
Yeah.
Oh.
No one's better. Oh, he's so good. Did I really just say that?
Wow.
He's really good at small talk. No one's
No one's
better.
better.
He's like boy crush.
Oh,
No one's better than Pat Sajak.
oh, Pat.
Have we had Pat Sajak on the show?
Wow.
Wow,
No, I
man,
think-
Bubba, really?
What?
I know.
Fucking does not pay attention
I
to
wasn't
anything
paying
we
attention to you
say.
guys.
Anything.
Nothing.
Oh my God, that's the best
That's
one
the best
ever.
one. That's the
I was
best one.
reading.
For everybody else, rewind this podcast 3 minutes and listen to this exchange. And then listen to Bubba come in and say, "Have we had Pat Sajak?" I'm done. I'm out.
Well, you guys
That's it.
started talking
It's
about
good
all
to
the
see
other
my
stuff. so I'm like,
contributions
ah.
are paid attention to. I'm done. Oh my God.
Think of all the people who just looked at their radio at the time. Like, what?
I was reading an article. I'm sorry, I got way.
Wow. Hey, what?
Unbelievable.
That's a good one.
Did that happen?
No, it didn't happen.
Okay.
To
If it
answer your
didn't
question, he
happen-
has been on.
Yes, he has been
And
on
when
the
he
show.
was
In
on,
fact,
he talked about how that they don't pay him.
Oh, that's what you were talking
They
about.
pay
About
him
the
to make sure
episode
that-
20
talking
looks like.
about how
Yeah,
he
Tim.
was on. Oh my.
He
Yeah,
just
I
missed
got all
part.
that. I
He
just
got all-
missed that one little piece.
Yeah, man. You just don't know. You just never know. You got to always pay attention to you, Patrick. You're always
Oh my gosh.
so
that was
important.
So
You say
classic.
things so important.
So classic.
Oh boy.
First of all, the fact that he doesn't remember Pat Sajak being on the show, but that's fine because it was probably 15 years ago.
Well, I thought he had because I remember I talked to him about his Irish pub, and it is St. Patrick's Day that we're doing this podcast on,
right.
and I remembered the tie-in of Pat Sajak had an Irish pub, and there was a band that used to play there with the best name ever, and I know I've told it to Carson before. The Irish band that used to play, the house band, was called Def Leprechaun.
Isn't that great?
That's the
Def
best.
Leprechaun.
Adorable.
But I didn't know if he was on the show or not. I can remember all that.
Oh my God, Kennesaw State is beating Xavier.
Dude, I'm
As we're
watching
taping this.
the USC Michigan State
That's gonna
game,
screw up my parlay.
and some guy just
Still
got
tied.
he just got racked. Oh, it's his elbow. Never mind. That's so embarrassing when you get racked in sports when you're growing up, and you have to lay there, and they come out there and
Oh,
everyone has-
racked. I got you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then in football they would put their hand under your waistband on the front and kind of pull it up, just to kind of release the pressure of, I guess, on your abdomen or whatever. That was weird. I doesn't know. Just kind of said all that just like it was all right.
Dude,
But Pat Sajak,
has he been on the show before?
he is the best at small talk. He
Like,
is
really good at it.
no one's better.
So I was talking about something the other day, and I was filming on my phone, and my buddy goes, "You can't call that filming." He said you have to call it videoing or capturing or whatever. He said filming is old speak. I'm
Did
like,
you
what do
slap
you
him
mean
in the
old
face?
speak? He's like, he literally got into an argument
Slap
with me.
him right across his mouth. You shut your mouth.
Right?
You put on your
seriously,
glove and
like, who's gonna tell me that? I mean, that's terrible. I mean, everybody says I'm gonna film this. Let me film this.
I challenge you to a duel, sir.
Oh, I would love to duel that
Oh
dude.
my God! What a complete tool bag. Don't they film?
yeah,
hate
film. But I watched a really interesting video the other day. It's like, how did they get this shot on old movies like the tornado in Wizard of Oz? When she's on the in Kansas, right when it first comes.
Yeah.
And how they do that, because it looks so good. And they're like, this is filmed back. There was no CGI. This is like, they had to like come up with stuff. All these old Buster Keaton.
Keaton.
Those
if
are
you
crazy.
can find the clips, the montages, it is mind blowing.
Of all the stunts.
Yes,
Yeah.
what he did.
Yeah. You know the one, the famous one where the front of the barn falls down and he's standing there and the window goes over him.
Yeah.
So he only knew, so he did math. He did the math to figure out where he should stand. And then when he figured it out, he took a nail and nailed it into the ground. And they said if he, an inch or two either way, and he would have been dead. He said that was the most exhilarating stunt he ever did.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because like I watch like the ones where he's like in between the two cars and his
Yeah.
legs are spread and he's like, oh,
Or
look
when
at
he
me.
jumps on a train.
But like the
and-
motorcycle coming the other
Yeah,
way hits him and he's like on
There's
the
one where he
handlebars.
really hurt his back badly, and it might have been the train one. But he's got stuff where he's like taking ladders off buildings, and there's stories because it's. I mean, you didn't have CGI. There was no regulations on movie sets.
Yeah,
back
for
then.
safety and
Like,
all that.
No, that was just you're gonna do what you're gonna do. It's insane.
Tom Cruise ganked his ankle one time, remember?
Oh, ouch.
And like we make a big deal out of that. Although I
Oh,
think
no.
whenever he went on top of the what is it, Burj Khalifa, whatever tower, the
Yeah.
one when he did that and they show the pictures, you're like, man. Even with the safety stuff on,
No.
you wouldn't catch me up there. The only time I'm that high up is if I'm in an airplane. And I would never do what he did on that. So kudos to Tom.
Is it only something like 5 people have been to the top of that? And it's him and Will Smith, or 2 of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Who'd
I don't
Will
know.
Smith's not slap. I missed my own joke. It's okay.
Okay.
It's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or like when you're singing a song, you're like, oh, I love this song, and you completely botch the lyric. You're like,
I do it all the time because I don't remember lyrics.
I don't either, man.
What was I about to say? It was about the Tom Cruise thing. Oh, I wanted to bring up the new SR-71 replacement that apparently some people are saying they debuted in Top Gun Maverick. You know the plane he's flying in the beginning, that super secret thing?
Dark Star? they call
Dark
it?
Star or whatever. They're saying that might actually be real.
No.
And that was the reveal to the world is, hey, look, we have this. Haha. I don't know.
I don't
mean,
know. They're calling it the SR-72.
Because Lockheed tweeted out, here's some photos of a real plane to celebrate Top Gun, da-da-da. And they put that out there. I'm like,
Oh.
Yeah.
so what are they trying to do? And then you look at all the black budgets and all that kind of stuff. There's holes in the government budgets that we can't ever see and nobody can ever see. The only people who can are like the 5 people on these committees.
So, Bob, let me ask you this.
Yes.
So, on that topic, do you think when the B-21 Raider, that right there, they made a huge – had you ever seen anything quite like that?
The debut?
The debut of it?
Yeah, they do that for
they?
planes. Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
because I know they just did the I want to say it's Qatari Air Force is taking a delivery of the new F-16 derivative, and they just did the
Oh,
same
they did it.
kind
Okay.
of
Well, there was this-
unveiling
okay. I don't know why that one got on my radar, pardon the pun.
because
but-
it was the first one you watched.
yeah, but I don't know why. I'd never seen any of the other ones before. Anyway,
I don't think I have either, to be honest. But
see what I
would
mean?
assume-
Like, I feel like they pushed that out. Like, they really, like, there's a reason why you and I both saw that one, and we've never seen one before, even though they do it to other airplanes. It was this big. It's done at Edwards Air Force Base. There's this big production, like fog machines, lights, and there's all these delegates, congressmen, senators, whoever, and they're all sitting there. And there's people, generals, people in the military, and then I guess like people who worked on the plane. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting there on the tarmac, and the doors are closed, and then it opens up, and there's all this like flyovers, and there's like music. It's very thematic, and then that was it. Like it didn't fly. It didn't. I don't even think it moved. Did they move it out?
No,
all?
they never did.
I don't care. Anyway, or a little bit, and then that was it. But I was like, this is propaganda. This is look, China, look. Look at this. Can you believe that we have that? Look at this. So I think when you see that tweet that they sent out, is that part of this?
Is it part of the reveal, or is it
because when this
misdirection?
came out, when that B-21 came out, had Ukraine been? Was there a war yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been over a year.
Okay.
And the B-21 unveiling was like 3 months ago.
Okay. So it wasn't. Yeah. All right. So it's part. I mean, it's all the timing is all there, but I don't know. There's so much. I want to think that it's not all willy-nilly. That there's someone who's really, really, really smart who's planning all of this. Well, you know what we need to do is we need to do that.
Yeah, I'm looking for
and it's not like
other,
any of the politicians that I know.
I'm looking for all the other unveilings, and the only one that keeps popping up is the B-21.
Uh-huh.
That
I'm
is
telling
crazy.
you, man, there was a reason. There are people that I know who aren't pilots. They aren't really into airplanes at all. And they saw it or heard of it. I was like, wow, I heard about it too. That's weird. You know, there's a thing. They're like, okay, we want 80% of America to know about this. And
because
so
if 82% of the world knows. I mean, America knows, and the world will know.
Then 40% of the world. And so they can make it happen. I don't know. Is there a protocol? I mean, we saw that they were talking to Twitter about all that stuff.
Okay, I am looking right now. I finally found an old clip from 13 years ago when they unveiled the Global Hawk drone.
Okay.
And it's the same kind of setup. Yeah, it's
a lot of theatrics.
And there's a big crowd. Yes.
It's all that kind of stuff.
And the lights go on. And
yeah, they did this at dusk.
Yeah, that's
for the Raiders.
Yeah, dude, it looks like a concert. They've got all the lights.
It's like lasers.
Yeah, it's
flybys.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All
Bono was there.
So this is something they have done before. So yeah,
that'd be great. All of a sudden you hear, and I still haven't found. This is on top of a hangar,
dude.
Reenacting. What's the one where they sang it?
Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
What's the? Yeah, that's a good. What's the? Oh my gosh, that guy just absolutely slammed the ball. I'm doing 5 things.
That's
at one
very
time.
Bubba of you.
And anyway, so that's what I think. Well,
Hey, was Pat Sajak ever on the show?
you know he was. In fact, we talked to him about
Sajak?
how much money he made.
It was 2008, 15 years ago, and he was talking about the 25th anniversary of Wheel of Fortune. So are they in the 40th year of doing it now?
Oh, yeah.
He's been doing it 40 years.
Mm-hmm. And there was
he the original host?
No, there's another one.
And I think the 40 years would be the nighttime show. He did it like a daytime version before that.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I went and just checked to see. We can't play the interview on the podcast because it's got the Wheel of Fortune theme going behind it the entire time.
Yeah.
Back then, we actually used to play music behind all of our interviews.
Well, I mean, we didn't. I mean, all that stuff changed.
Everything changed.
We
didn't know.
We had a big moment where we were like, okay, we can't use licensed music.
Yeah.
Behind stuff because it's not for on the air, but
for this,
now everything gets chopped up and sent out, and people talking. Our TikTok of Morgan Wallen being sped up to sound like Miley Cyrus. That TikTok's got 1 million views on it.
Almost
crazy.
like 800,000, but yeah,
Neat.
it's crazy.
Uh-huh.
And that's just one. I mean,
and so we've got all that. What I mean by all that is that everything we do on the show gets cut up, and Garrett does a great job of packaging that, repackaging it into different things. So you have Reels, you have TikTok, you have Facebook, you have Twitter.
And they all
Instagram.
are packaged just slightly different.
Yeah, some of them are a little different. The constrict the whatever sizes and stuff.
And the restrictions on music apply to some that don't apply to others, and it's weird. But podcasting is the worst. So podcasting is the one where you really have very deep restrictions on what you can put in a podcast.
Yeah.
Man, I got lost into these unveilings of aircraft. I found another one, the Boeing 787, the Dreamliner. There's a huge unveiling for it.
Well, I get that, but I mean for military
Yeah,
stuff.
for military stuff. No, the B-21 and that Global Hawk are the only ones I've seen.
Isn't that interesting? And the Global Hawk was big. That was a big piece of propaganda too.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a plane that flies itself. I mean, it seems stupid now, but back then, I mean, the drone world was new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now we got them that they fly themselves. They're AI. They're thinking on their own.
That's crazy, man.
I'm sure nothing bad can come from that.
Dude, again, I know you and I have talked about it. I wonder if because these things not only are flying themselves, but they get to decide when they drop a bomb or shoot a missile.
There's all that stuff's got to get.
You don't think that?
No,
I know for the submarines.
Yeah, but
because
submarines
those aren't
Not
being touched.
ours. They're talking about the Chinese ones that can do that, but ours are all.
No, he's talking about the submarines that have to come up to, because once they go down there,
They're not allowed.
disconnected.
In the U.S., submarines can't fire without being told to fire.
You assume.
Well, that's according to the military. Maybe they're lying. But
I don't believe anyone.
Yeah.
hey, you want an example of a cash out? The way to explain it to somebody? Here's one in real time. Kennesaw and Xavier.
Would it kill you to use a blinker? What?
We're talking about cash outs and how they work and why,
we
why they
weren't.
offer
We
you
were
cash
talking
outs.
about drones.
Talking about that.
We were talking about
themselves.
Oh, like we don't go. You just went back to that. That was a whole different thing. Pat Sajak. It's a thing. We
Go
go
ahead, Pat.
everywhere.
Well, tell us about this.
Okay, so they have 79 points right now, 43-36. It's halftime. I bet under 166. So that's
What
they
does that
have
mean?
less than they can't score more than 165 points
Combined.
They're
And
not
combined.
halfway there yet. So I bet $17 to win 50 or whatever. They're offering me $25 right now to cash out. So that's why because the chances are they won't get there, but maybe they will. So you kind of have to look
So
at it.
you're going
and
to
go,
take the cash out?
No, it's less than half the points. I'm going to ride it out because they're not offering me enough. But it's just one of those things where they do that. They try to make you think twice about it and go, hey, a lot of times they'll offer you less than you bet. But because there's a chance you could come back and win, but maybe you just take a little bit and you bet $10
so you don't
on
lose
something
all
and they
your
come
money.
back later and they go, hey, I'll give you 6 right now if you just give up on this. And you go, all right. But then you just gave them $4.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, their algorithm or whatever, it knows how to beat you. Like it's smarter than you.
Sure. That's why they have lots
That's
of
why
money.
they have millions of dollars.
So I have more money
billions
than
of
you do.
dollars. Yeah.
By the way, Michigan State USC game is fire.
Patrick, what green are you wearing?
I'm not wearing green.
Patrick is not wearing green at all.
No, I'm not.
I'm not either.
You're not?
No.
I'm wearing green shorts. There's not green in that shirt, D? No, guess not.
No,
Carson and I are the only ones who are
Celebrating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good for you.
It's very, I know it's very elementary school. I don't
Would
know.
you like to go out and have some Mexican with me today?
Yeah, it's your Mexican day.
I
This
always
is
do that. I
Cinco de
always do
Mayo.
Mexican on St. Patrick's Day, and I go to the Irish bar on Cinco.
That's exactly what I
Bubba
do.
does.
Yep.
See you there.
Did you steal that idea from Bubba, or did he steal it from you?
No, it was no.
I've been doing it for a couple years.
Yeah, it was before we met. It was because one day I went to the Mexican joint by my house on
it
Cinco,
that
and they
exciting?
shut down the the parking lot.
We should totally be watching this instead of doing it.
All right, it's good to see you guys.
All
Hope you
right,
have a good weekend.
You
Time to
guys
go.
so worried about your money. Once again, thank you to everybody for having us on. We do have Farmer Wants a Wife, guys. If you are listening to the podcast, as soon as the jingle is done, you'll hear from Hunter and Ryan and Alan and Landon, and it's very interesting. I love that show. If you guys are not watching it, Farmer Wants a Wife is pretty great.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
This was the podcast, but now it's over. But that's okay, because you can listen to the regular show on the radio every